Well, good evening, everybody, and thank you for joining us tonight for WFIN 2 News, possible snow tracker, all of the above. We are live currently right now. If you're watching live, we want to thank you so much. We really, really appreciate it because this is how we reach out to or get out to you guys just about different little things with our weather, with our news, all of the above. Now, I know mainly we've been doing weather because we've just had so much going on in our weather patterns. It's just kind of been just right to stay on weather, but I will say we are currently live giving you, of course, the upstate's #1 in independent news that we can, and of course, giving you our best. Of course, we really appreciate you joining us. If you are, of course, we're going to be off and on, so you may see us join, or you may see us come on live several times tonight. And that is, of course, due to, we got some snow on the way. We're going to get you, of course, our Skycam network and just different things. But, of course, we will be live all evening tonight. So if you are up at like 2 a.m. and you're wondering, let's check on the weather with WFIN, we'll, of course, be here, right? So you'll have us on your standby radar. Just perfect timing for us to give you the most accurate news and weather that we can. But momentarily, we're going to take you to our Skycam network, as this is a live look at I-385 northbound. And we just realized that our time and temperature says it is 40 or 43. It is or it's 42. It's actually 34. That is our bad there. Of course, um, right, there we go. So you're taking a look right now at the Skycam network, as this is going into downtown Greenville. So if you are wondering where this may be at, it's of course going into downtown Greenville. Of course, we will be live, like we said, all evening long. So if you miss us, and miss the chance to be able to watch us live to like right now, you of course can come back later on in the evening, and we'll of course have another broadcast show. Um, but of course, like we said, don't worry if you miss. We are under alert right now, so if you're wondering what does our alert mean, well, in this case, our alert means that hey, we have some snow on the way. A live stream Opera 2 alert day. Yesterday was an yesterday was our Live Stupid Opera 2 HD Impact Day, but of course we moved on from Impact now to Alert. Um, and of course we have 152 closings. Um, we are gonna of course get you the latest on that. We actually are looking at Abbeville County Schools. Of course they are on e-learning, so they've already excuse me of course, we're going to get you the latest list of our closings, or our e-learning, excuse me. We'll try to get you up to date with all of the school-wide or district county-wide and area-wide outing or closings for schools. But until then, of course, we can only give you what we know, and we only know right now as of Abbeville. But when we come back from break, we'll have the full list. So again, we probably will be on break for about 5 minutes or so, and we'll come back off of break to give you the latest on our news and weather. So we will be right back. We're back. Thank you for joining us. We are continuing to follow our e-learning closings for schools. Of course, as of right now, we only know of e-learning for Abbeville County Schools, which they are on the North Carolina, or excuse me, the South Carolina Georgia line, kind of in that area. So, of course, they have go ahead and announced Monday for e-learning. Of course, that is subject to change, like you see on your screen. So make sure you stay with us here at WFIN for the latest on all school closings. This is the current list we know of right now. We do want to turn also to our closings for our churches in our area, our viewing area. We are out of Fountain Inn, so we obviously are only gonna, as of right now on air, we're only gonna give you Fountain Inn churches, um, and of course some businesses in here in the Fountain Inn area. We do know if as of right now, it has now been announced that Mount Zion Baptist Church here in Fountain Inn is closed on Sunday. Again, we also do know of Fountain Inn First Baptist Church has now been announced closed as well on Sunday. You can see the full complete closings list on our app, which we'll tell you about that in just a minute. But if you're wondering the full 200, however many are closed, of course, across the upstate and western North Carolina, you can go to wyff4.com/closings, I do believe. Yes, /weather/closings. And then you can see the full list there on their website. Of course, that will give you the full, complete latest of all closings regarding churches, businesses, schools. But as of right now, we have the latest up-to-date information for churches in Fountain Inn and schools across our area. So, of course, that is the latest as we know right now. But let's turn now to our weather as we have an alert day. I know it's been quite interesting to watch. I, I've noticed that we have our our little ticker, or not ticker, excuse me, our little lower third on the bottom of your screen has been off on the temperature pretty much all night long, which we finally got it into place. But we are looking right now at area wide. You can see western North Carolina. We're looking at that snow in western North Carolina, so WNC, western North Carolina. If you are in that area, we are looking at the snow right above your area. So, um, yeah. We're going to, of course, give you some sky cams from Western North Carolina coming up, but let's take you to the Skycam network here in the upstate as um, getting close as we can to the North Carolina South Carolina border is what we like to call it. That is, of course, near Hendersonville, where those roads look quite interesting. We're going to take you there in just momentarily. This you're going to be looking at southbound. Yeah, this is on your screen right now. At currently the US 26 says North Carolina and South Carolina, or excuse me, 25. Totally got that all wrong. Of course, US 25. That is in North Carolina, right there, the North Carolina South Carolina line you're seeing on your screen right now, and that is a current look as wow. We have totally I don't know. We for some reason tonight we have issues with our lower third. It keeps mixing up with it keeps making everything big and just weird things. But I think we got it now. Perfect. We got it. Okay, everything's in line. It was really big for a second. I was like, what? But of course, if you are tuning in live, you can check on our live chat, which shows our top chat, and we have a current Q&A going. We only have one watching right now, but we have that Q&A rolling right now that strictly says, how is everyone across the upstate? We want you to put your answers of different stuff of what you're experiencing here in the upstate tonight because it is going to be a wild show, right? So if you are wondering how we or excuse me, wondering how you can get the most up to date, you can go on YouTube right now to our YouTube Shorts area, and it will show you how to download our app. Of course, we'll have the latest on that. And make sure you enable those notifications because if you enable those notifications, we'll give you the most accurate news and weather we can, as like right now, all the different things. But let's turn now to um let's turn now to our current Live Super Opera 2 HD alert day as we of course have been following This snow. Now we're gonna press pause right here. Okay, getting into our weather center tonight. You're currently looking at our timing is about 12 o'clock, so midnight. We midnight to midnight, so about 12:15 is when I would expect. Don't be counting on this because it's not coming in as of the models we have showing right now on your screen. We're not having this system move in at 12 o'clock. If you listen, we're going to have the models are showing that we're supposed to have about 12:05, 12:20 is when it's moving into just a hair of South Carolina. Now, I wouldn't exactly say that it's in really the upstate, mainly upper parts of Walhalla. If you're more towards the Highlands area of North Carolina, Highlands, North Carolina, near Salem, Rosman. If you're in this area on your screen, definitely make sure you're tuning into us because it will definitely help you to stay up to date for sure. But if you see this on your screen and you're wondering what are we gonna do about this, right? So we actually did create a graphic for you. There we go. So if you're in this area of Highlands, Salem, all those areas, we do have an alert, okay, as of right now. Now, everybody is under an alert for our area with our weather team for all of the upstate due to all this coming in tonight. But if you're in that area, that is your current alert. You can see that alert is where we're showing just right across about this area abruptly is where it's gonna where we're showing depicting that hey that's what's coming in. So if you're just now tuning in, thank you. We are turning to our alert day. You can see this is where we're getting into timing, 12:52. Okay, we're supposed to impact Salem, Rosman, North Carolina, and parts of Walhalla. Now I'm not saying that it's going to hit Walhalla by 12:52. Don't quote me on that, okay? It's not gonna supposed to be as of our models are showing right now. It is not supposed to hit Walhalla, Salem for a little bit later, right? So let's dive in a little bit later into the night, okay? So if you're staying up to watch our weather tonight, if you join us here on WFIN tonight about 11 o'clock, 11 to 12 o'clock, we will have a live stream pretty much all night long for us to be giving you this update. We are committed to you throughout all this weather that we're having. So of course, stay with us. If you're in bed and you're wondering, hey, I wonder what it's looking like. The news is not live right now. Well, let's turn to WFIN on YouTube. We'll be live, giving you that live coverage. Um, but okay, so moving into this is our prime time. So we get a little band. Okay, you could see earlier the band was showing about 12:52 that the band was showing that hey we were gonna see it across Salem, Walhalla, Highlands, right? Well, let's just say about 12:10 or 2:10 in the morning it's supposed to models are supposed to shift just a little bit, stating that hey, if you were on that area of hey Pickens, Walhalla, forget about it for the moment, right? Excuse me. So if you're in that area, forget about it for that point. Now it's just a little. You're gonna get like here, right here in Franklin. The Doppler models are showing that hey, about 2:10 a.m. That Doppler model showing wherever that location is of it looks like Franklin, North Carolina. There's just going to be a patch that hey states that maybe there won't be there. I mean it's going to be widespread, right? You might get a little brief moment where you won't have any snow. This is supposed to be a lot more fluffier. Now getting into about 3:30 a.m. is when we are especially now. I know we're all under an alert day here for WFIN2 News. If you're in the upstate, you're under an alert. That just stating we have some bad weather we consider, even though it's just snow. But hey, it could turn into ice if it refreezes. All the things like we just had with the beginning of this week. So we just put an alert out there. Yesterday was an impact. Bracing for it. Now we're in alert. But look, 3:30. We're gonna expect Walhalla, Pickens, and Landrum South Carolina's all to be under that main alert, okay? That is following that, hey, all those areas that is on about Highway 25, that is, or US 25, I think that is. Of course, Pickens, Walhalla, that area we are watching under the high alert, okay? For about 3:30. So if you're in that area near Clemson, Lake Hartwell, maybe kind of upper Lake Hartwell going towards Walhalla, even if that's still Lake Hartwell, I'm not sure about that. But that area is when we're going to see it first. So don't be, if you're down here in Fountain and Simpsonville, we're going to get a little band of this snow, okay? Fountain and Simpsonville, Lawrence, Anderson, you're out of this right now, and Lawrence, you're kind of out of this. Now, parts of Lawrence County will see this possibly about 4 a.m. You can see that model trend on your screen is showing that, hey, if you're in this area, Lawrence, Fountain Inn, Simpsonville, Greenville, Greer, Spartanburg. You're going to be in that little small band. Of course, we'll all see the snow pretty much. I don't see why we wouldn't. There should not be an area except towards Myrtle Beach, is what I've heard in the models and seen in the models that won't get it. Myrtle Beach. But I will say this little beginning band, okay, we're not in the system fully. We're going to zoom out. You can see this is our system. It is a pretty big system that is coming down from the north, right? So once it hits our area, you're only going to see it across Fountain Inn, Simpsonville, Greenville, Spartanburg, all those areas. You may see it by 4 a.m., okay? Our trend is showing getting about 4:30. Everybody in our viewing area, if you are viewing from Fountain Inn, Simpsonville, Lawrence, counties, or it's not Fountain County, excuse me, Greenville County, Lawrence County, Spartanburg, Anderson County, all those areas, Greenwood County, you will be experiencing the snow. Now, we'll say parts of Greenwood that is on the McCormick side. So if you're on the McCormick side or the Elberton side of Greenwood, you won't really see this just yet. Now, it's probably coming later. Of course, you see we're zoomed into 4:30. Of course, we can't really get much farther into the night unless we go to a different model or a different website that shows a radar that we're viewing here. But it's showing that, hey, most very will see this snow. And you can tell last time we had more of this pinkish red. That was indicating ice. Now you can see we're in the snow category, thankfully enough. By 4:45, I would expect all of the upstate, including our western North Carolina and our parts of Georgia that is in our viewing area here at WFIN. Those areas, of course, will be experiencing that snow. Now, we will be having live coverage tonight. Of course, we won't really be, per se, talking during the live viewing tonight or the live broadcast. We will mainly just be showing you maps. Like, we'll have a split screen, which we're actually going to show you on your screen. If you're watching us live, this is the split screen you may see tonight. And that split screen is basically just showing that, hey, this is the left is like the model, the trends. On the right is our Skycam network. Of course, we're actually going to go ahead. We're going to show you what it's going to look like if you are watching us live tonight. I know we only have one person watching live, but thank you to whoever you are. We really greatly appreciate it. If you could share this video with anyone you know here in the upstate, we would greatly appreciate that. Like and subscribe as well. We're going to, of course, um, take you to all of this news and weather we're following. Okay, so we're gonna show you the little split screen. You're on the split screen right now. This is usually what we do when we go on break, or usually we are just not talking on the live streams. But this is kind of just a little look at what we may see. Um, it says we're 33. We're probably 33 outside, so that is a plus. But on your screen now, on the left is the Doppler radar. Now, that is the National Weather Service Doppler radar in Greenville that's picking up on this system. If you, of course, are watching closely, I do believe it says the time of what time it's picking stuff up. I'm not really sure, to be honest. Well, actually, we put it in a little different mode here in the upstate. Um, if you notice really closely, of course, across Greenville, Spartanburg, this small little dome, okay? That is showing where the Doppler is located. So these little flakes around the Doppler, which we're going to zoom super close into the Doppler. You can see that little hole right there at Five Forks Taylor's. You see that these little flakes all around it. Now that is satellite waves. So that's not, we're not saying that, hey, that is we're not saying that is snow, because it's not, right? Hate to burst your little bubble, but it's not snow, okay? Now that may be a little bit of precipitation, but it is not. That mainly just shows that, hey, um, that's where the Doppler radar is located. It's picking up on just little radio waves that it produces. Now here is the winter weather story is what we're going to view if we can get it to scroll down a little bit. sometimes we have issues with graphics and stuff here on WFIN, which is sometimes it's a little dumb. But okay, so here's the winter storm little viewing or little briefing. So it's basically all it is stating is, hey, the winter storm is in effect for our forecasted area through 4 p.m. This I want to say this Friday. I think it said. It's kind of hard to tell. Maybe we can scoot it over. Uh, y'all just pray for this broadcast. It is, gosh, we are having some major issues with it. If we could just get it to scroll down. Okay, you know what? That's good enough. Okay, so it is basically just stating that, hey, we have an winter storm warning in effect for our entire forecast area from 4 p.m. this afternoon through 7 a.m. Okay, so it was as of this afternoon, so it's in effect from 4 p.m. on Friday, which is already passed, and through Sunday. I'm gonna go ahead and say the Weather Service, if they would at least extend it till Monday, I think that would be helpful. Because Monday is when we're looking at, hey, it could refreeze during it being so cold. So, um, we definitely want to watch that. So I wouldn't exactly say that, hey, we're in the clear for Monday. If it refreezes, students will be out of school, no doubt about it. So just kind of keep that in mind. Kind of thinking to yourself, should I get outside in this weather when it comes? No. So total inches of snow accumulation between 4 to 8 inches. This is a crazy amount. I know that. Okay. I know that of course if you saw here on YouTube, we had a video of our drone shot from Sky 2, our very own drone. Excuse me, here at WFIN, we had a drone shot of our area. It was a very pretty shot. But I will say, if it gets to 4 to 8 inches, you won't. It's usually powdery light snow is easier to get off the roads, but I wouldn't be saying, "Hey, let's go outside. Let's be driving our cars around downtown Simpsonville or downtown Greenville during this." Okay, I'm just gonna say, stay at your home. Okay, if you can. Of course, our snow is expected to rapidly stick to the roads and other surfaces due to the temperatures in the 20s. That's what I said. Maybe 16 I've heard is maybe the low for Monday, so definitely watch out for that. Travel conditions could be possibly canceled as early as Friday, so deteriorated, so um deteriorate so rapidly. So if they could get bad, okay? So I'm sure flights will be canceled. I know over the last system, Greenville Spartanburg Airport canceled a lot of flights. That's just how it has to work. So gusty winds on Saturday could result in areas with blowing snow, causing very poor visibility. So that's what I'm saying. Stay off the roads if you can help it. Hey, remind yourself, remind whoever you can to, hey, let's kind of stay here at home if we can, okay? Because we just don't want it to be anything major, you know? We don't want to have to cause all these issues across our viewing area because of an issue. So if you're just joining us, thank you. Of course, we're giving you live updates on this system. Of course, this is a look. This is about 12 o'clock. Well, actually, I'm not sure, actually, to be honest. Sometimes we have issues with it loading and stuff. We went a little too far. Okay. But if you're watching, thank you. We're continuing to follow this system. Now, of course, like we said, snow chances tonight. Watch out for that. We don't want to exactly go ahead and quote and it wind up being wrong. So, guys, also, if you watch the local news here in the upstate, if you're a viewer of our area, WIFF4, WSPA, WHNS, make sure you don't criticize a meteorologist, okay? As Christians, we believe that God only knows. I mean, God only does know the weather, and or we can just make predictions. So if Chris Justice gets it wrong, if different Amy or sorry, if Chief Meteorologist Chris Justice with WFF4 gets it wrong with, or if Chief Meteorologist what's her name with WSPA or WHNS, excuse me, I don't remember. But please, guys, don't criticize them if they get it wrong, okay? they can only do what they can do, right? Just like here, we're not certified here, and we are just literally a small kind of content people here, bringing you news and weather that we can depend on. Um, so, like we said, continue to stay with us, okay? We're gonna go on a break, or excuse me, we're gonna go on break in just a little bit. So if you're just joining us, let's turn now to our weather. We have that snow chances, increased snow chances. We have that alert on our forecast. So make sure that, hey, if you're watching, let's make sure across the upstate we are under that high alert. We are staying off the roads if we can help it. Let's take a look now. If you just are joining us, this is the e-learning as of right now. We pulled this from different news like WFIN, all those areas like that who have been reporting e-learning. This is e-learning. We do know for Abbeville County Schools. We do know that they are under e-learning for Monday, and we do know that's an e-learning. We do know that's e-learning for them, but of course, subject to change. Now, if you turn to our closings department here, you can see these. This is the list of closings on our here across our upstate for churches. This is Fountain and First Baptist Church is one. Actually, I go to that church. We actually just reported it not too long ago to News 4 about closed on Sunday. Mount Zion Baptist Church in Fountain Inn as well is closed. Of course, we'll have the latest on other churches across our area. But we're starting to lose our voice a little bit. But just different churches have different things going on. We are also, I do not know if we have any outages currently across the Carolinas. We do know we have one outage, of course. Um, in the upstate, we have one outage. So if you're just joining us, thank you. This is a list on your screen of closings of churches in our viewing area. Um, so we're gonna show you in just a second to This is a look right now at our closings with or our outages with the outage department here at WFIN. We're tracking right now one current outage. That is not for here at, or excuse me, that is across. It appears to be the Innery area. If you are in Innery and you're some reason watching, or not some reason, but if you're watching, well, there is in that Innery area, we do know there is one person without power in Innery. That they do say it is because equipment is going offline. It's not because of here this weather, because obviously we haven't had the weather just yet. So, um, don't worry about that. But let's go ahead and turn. I feel like we're gonna be talking a lot this evening. So if you please just kind of bear with us. Share this, of course, with your friends and family, because we need to stay up to date here with you guys. I'm not WIF4. That's not supposed to be on your screen. Hold on just a second, guys. If you are, I'm gonna get back to our radar. There we go. Okay, we're in just a second. We're gonna take you to our current 4-day, or excuse me, our current hourly forecast, as we are, yes, ready. We're ready for this storm at all cost, or whatever, at all time, or whatever you want to say. We are ready for this system. So let's take you to our 4-day plus, or excuse me, our hourly forecast, as this wants to be a little bit of a pain in the tail. We're going to see if we can get it. Maybe, just maybe she'll stay on the screen. Fingers crossed. Okay. Our current hourly forecast, if you are in live here, showing about 11, 12 o'clock. We have that. Guys, I tell you, it never fails. We always having to push this thing up a little bit, because it just, and of course, we are using WIFF4's 4-day plus and hourly forecast. We don't own that forecast, they do, so we're just giving credit to them for that. But we can just use the tools that they kind of allow us to use. Okay, maybe we'll stay. Y'all pray. Fingers crossed. Over the next several hours, I would expect that I tell you guys, it we just have okay. I think we're in. Okay, it wasn't for some reason. It kept changing on us. It kept going up and moving down. Okay, I think it's in the stay. Over the next several hours, I expect about 15% chance of precipitation. That's across, of course, all of the upstate. So if you're tuning in to us tonight about 11, 12 o'clock, you'll notice that hey, we may have a little bit more. We're of course going to have an increased chance by 4 a.m. Of course, we told you that 4 to 5 a.m. and it's supposed to stop like taper off by 6 p.m. tomorrow. But of course, it's supposed to freeze and all that stuff. But I would expect about 22 degrees. It's going to feel, or excuse me, 29. So about 30 degrees all night. But sticking, you can see that feels like it's 19. So is it really going to be 19? Is it really going to be 29? No. It's gonna feel like more like 29, or excuse me, I feel like 19. Sorry, I can't get it right, but 19 degrees. So if you're following us, of course, there, 19 degrees. Now it won't let us get by 4 a.m. I'm not really sure why it won't let us do that. It usually does. I'm just not sure why it's not now. But I'll expect by 4 a.m. feels like 18 degrees. So that is definitely everything on the board. If you're looking at our feels like temperature all the way across the board, you're gonna notice, hey, it's sticking to about the 20s, mid 20s, maybe even getting to the upper teens. So if you're wondering, hey, 4 a.m. If you for some reason want to go outside and play in the snow at 4 a.m., it's gonna feel like 18. So, if I'm going to go ahead and say that alert um is mainly the alert hour is 4 a.m. Okay, um so that's mainly our alert hour is what I like to call it. So if you're just joining us, this is our current hourly forecast. So that you saw that alert on your screen, um, that was we consider that the alert hour. Okay. Now of course we're on alert day all day long, and of course tomorrow I would expect Monday you would see us come back with an impact day. So until Monday, prepare for us to be on alert. So on Monday, when you're waking up with us, change if I'm sure school will be out, but we'll be on an impact throughout. I would expect by Wednesday because of potential freezing. Let's just go ahead and lay it out on the table. We're supposed to have freezing. Then, um, of course, our hourly forecast does not want to, or 10-day forecast does not want to move. Gosh, I tell you, we always have issues with this here. Okay, maybe you will just stay. Possibly. Okay. Here's our 10-day or 4-day forecast. 4-day plus or 10-day, how I guess I could say. We're seeing about today and tomorrow snow. Okay. 1 a or excuse me, today and tomorrow snow. Sunday, Monday, gonna feel about 20s, so 13 on Sunday, so that's definitely gonna be an alert day. Monday is gonna be an impact day. Now, if we notice that, hey, by Wednesday, I would expect the impacts and the alerts to taper off here from us at WFIN's Weather Center. But Wednesday is supposed to be rain and a chance of 30. So I think freezing in South Carolina, we do know that is um it's usually about freezing in South Carolina. The temperature mainly has to get here, I would say for South Carolina locally, it has to get about 20s. Um which really is considered temperature is really freezing at 32 degrees, but we're going to consider for the upstate about 30. So 32. So is it exactly freezing across from Wednesday? No, it's not exactly freezing, but I will go ahead and say that if Wednesday comes along and students are on e-learning or something like that, if anybody with the district is watching, I would say let's go ahead and brace. Maybe, I would say maybe students should be out Wednesday, Monday through Wednesday, just because potential freezing and refreezing. But on Monday, Tuesday, I would expect 20s by Monday, so that's definitely an alert impact day. So that's potential refreeze. And then Tuesday, I would expect about 30s, so a little bit warmer than it would be on Wednesday. So we're still bracing and watching for the freezing for both Tuesday and Wednesday, the refreezing and all that stuff. But of course, if you are going to be joining us, we are going to be back. Okay, so if you're watching right now, if you're watching and saying, hey, are we going to be back? Yes, we're going to be back. For right now, we're going to be going off for a little bit, going off air for a little bit, and continuing with our YouTube shorts. A little bit of YouTube shorts. So if you watch us on YouTube shorts and you say, hey, I know today's an alert day. Let's check in on the latest on Skycams or news or whatever. We're going to be on YouTube tonight until about 11 to 12. So in the next hour and a half to 2 hours, you can check on it in about an hour and a half, 2 hours. And we should be back on that. And if for some reason we get to where we have to come on multiple times tonight, it's just winds up being because of hey, maybe our system went down for a little bit. And we have to come back in an hour to retry the system. But we're gonna have sky cams. We're gonna have the latest from school districts, businesses closing, and all that stuff. And of course, sky cams and weather. The Weather Center will be back tonight. So thank you for watching. For now, with WFIN2 News. We're currently 34, so maybe we'll get warmer, or excuse me, colder, maybe. We're now 32. But thank you for watching. We will be back in the next hour and a half to 2 hours to give you the news and whether you depend on. For now, live local independent news, WFIN News 2, in the studio, WFIN 2.